Here we are again. Welcome to day 5, I think it is, of our 10-day series before my book launch on Conscious Love, Soulful and Intimate Connections. Today I have Mai Vu with me. Welcome. Hey!
Hey! Good to see you again. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and I know you're moving, so thank you so much for being here and showing up and playing with me today. Thank you so much, Mai.
You're so welcome. It's my pleasure, and hopefully Keith will get here soon and he can jump in on this too.
That would be super fun. And I also see you have changed your status because you are actually in a turbulence together as a couple also, because you are now also a cancer fighting girlfriend.
Yes, I decided that I'm adding another entity to me,
Yeah.
which, that's coming out. And most of the women that I work with are, in our late 40s, 50s, and we are with men who are older, and we ourselves have cancer, or we are with partners who have cancers. And we are now blessed that Keith has cancer, and it becomes a brand new journey for us, that we are learning to heal that cancer naturally. Oh, there he is. He just arrived. So perfect timing. And then so that's what I want to start talking about that with all of us, because it's not easy, and yet it can be really fun. Come here, babe.
That's great. So Mai, while we're waiting for Keith, tell us how we met, how we know each other.
Way back when, over a decade ago.
It is. We have been through so much things together.
Hey, Maria.
Hi, Keith. Hi. We are in a Facebook Live. Would you like to join us? We're speaking about love and relationships.
Oh, it's his favorite thing, to have to get on live.
I could talk about this every day.
Yes. That's really great. So that's really wonderful to see you both and connect with you in this live series of just being here with me. Oh, take a deep breath. It's so good to see you.
It's so funny. He's on his way to help me move some boxes today, and I texted him and said, by the way, I'm going to be on with Maria talking about conscious couple, and I want you to be in on it. I get back. No response.
Well, I do that a lot.
But here you are actually having a very conscious healing journey right now on your cancer treatment. It's really going deep into consciousness of understanding that. So tell us, Keith, how is it?
Oh, the cancer treatment?
Or the awareness around going deep in order to heal yourself?
Well, it's been a big journey. Started almost a year ago when I found out I had it. And I've been going through all kinds of healings with different modalities. And what I've tried recently, and I'm doing still, is this energetic healing, which is really cool. It's really shifting me into being more confident in what I do. I just feel every day, I wake up and I feel I have a purpose and I have a lot more going on.
Yeah.
From this work.
That's so cute, because you just talk about the energetic journey, and Maria just fluff her hand and said, I
had an energy haircut today. Can you see my hair? It's energetic.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
But let's not step over that point, though. I mean, like, most people, when they hear about cancer, they think that it's about chemo and radiations and all this stuff. And then we get on this whole whirlwind of journey that literally swallow us up. But really, what we are finding out is this cancer healing journey can be really peaceful, loving, and amazing. And Keith is saying yes to doing internal energetic work and also emotional work. So he's got 2 different coaches working with him. One work on the energy level, the other work on his thoughts and his belief, his thinking. And so we're undoing the cancer from inside out, plus eating, plus all the supplements, plus whatever his natural path doctors is guiding him. So and our relationship and play and focusing on us. So it's I think it's a blessing. I think it's an amazing journey rather than this scary, painful journey. However, I get a lot of pity points on Facebook. People send me message all the time going, how's it going? This is a terrible time for you. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, it is. I'm sitting here on the bed and Keith is in the kitchen, making green juice for me to drink. And he's going to make us a salad for dinner. This is the kind of guy that I wanted to date in the first place, who eats healthy and be well with me. So
that's the shift I'm seeing, is how actually this journey is just connecting you in a whole new profound way of going deep together and actually doing the emotional stuff, doing the internal stuff. And the amazing thing is, I mean, that's what I'm finding with conscious couples, is they work on their internal shift. And in some way we know that everything that happens outside ourselves or illness is an expression of something going inside. So I definitely think it's such a great journey you're on. And
so thank you, Cancer.
Well, Cancer, actually, I've looked at it, and I'm looking at it even just this week. I was thinking how actually grateful I am that I got cancer, because I know I'm going to heal it. And all it did, it was a wake-up call for me to change my lifestyle to healthy. I don't eat fast foods anymore. I don't eat a lot of meat. I'm eating healthy, and I'm looking better, and I'm feeling better, and I'm going to cure this, and then this will be, my life for the rest of my life.
And that's such an amazing experience to have, that you have healed your cancer from.
Well, we don't know yet.
Yeah, I haven't healed it. I'm working on it.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's everything is about the mindset and being there and believing it.
And before we get elevated to the saint status, how we're holding ourselves right now. Let me just be real about this. Like when he said, I stopped eating fast foods and everything. Yes, and it's not as easy and it's not as pretty as you think. From that statement, because like once in a while we go on a road trip and there's that weak moment where there's nothing around healthy to eat, and so there's the only thing that is the Mexican restaurant. So we go into that Mexican restaurant, right? And he's like doing the blessing and all this stuff, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna have, and then of course he resort right back to his old pattern, a big old burrito, with meat and rice and beans in there. And, well, shoot, if we're gonna do that, why not have a beer too with that, right? So immediately we go right back there, and guess what happened? Funny.
Well, the system's not used to that stuff. I've been off of it for even a few weeks. And oh man, it just destroys you. I was out of commission for like 2 or 3 hours with like a bloated, achy
and we
stomach.
can feel it now because we have cleaned our bodies. So every time we eat normal food, like the kind of food that friends go out and eat, every time we do that now, it is painful. My stomach hurts and it's this big, and there's a whole war in there. So consciousness now becomes really like our body is helping us stay conscious. It's like, you just went unconscious with that meal, and now you're gonna like experience the rest of that, baby. It's painful, and I'm just wondering, how did we live all this time and not notice that?
And I think I have an answer to that, because I think we as human beings, we numb ourselves out from our bodies. So you really need to be on that kind of clean journey that you've been on for a long time in order to actually your body adjust to it. So then when it's getting normal food, or then it's reacting. So I think that's how it is, that we have numbed ourselves out. We are not used to be able to feel those sensations.
Yeah, and we're so resistant to doing something, like it has to take cancer, not just cancer, but cancer, cancer at like the, like if you don't do something, you're gonna die. This is it, right? And then true to form, we're so human, right? So when we first got the news that this was a bad thing, that we need to take care of it, we juiced and we got really clean for the first month and a half. It was awesome. And immediately the score went down and we're like, yes, we're in the right direction. This is going to fix it. This is awesome. Guess what we did? You want to tell them what we did?
We added some things back into our diet.
Yes.
Like, a little bit of animal protein.
Meat
and celebrated having some drinks, maybe.
Yeah, what's a glass of wine? Whatever. Right? And the next thing you know, the score went beyond what we started out with. It's like, holy moly. And so what I'm trying to say is this, for those of you who are listening to this or watching this, you're probably sitting there going, well, I don't have cancer, so I'm not going to do anything. I just have a little brain thing, or I just have a little back thing, but it's not that bad yet. So I'm not going to completely change my diet and my lifestyle so that I can, it's like we have to wait until things get really bad. So talking about conscious is such a funny word. It's as bad as conditional or unconditional love. Conscious love and unconditional love, we don't get there until we really have to. Until life help us out and shove us in a corner and stick things at us and going, you're gonna die if you don't do something. And then we do something, and the minute we see result, we'll go right back to sleep.
It's true. Well, I was actually having the same conversations with the guy who cut my hair today, because he said there is a lot of people that they don't say they go to someone who do an energy haircut. It's like, we don't want to just be out there on believing in energy or believing in consciousness. It's like, it's being ordinary. You don't want to have anything with it to do. It's not until life totally hit you in your stomach or somewhere, and you just have to change or make the change happen.
To be honest, I'm really afraid, because the minute we get a sign that cancer is gone, guess what we're gonna do? Right, Maria? Let's have some stuff. And bread. And come on, Maria, let's go. And I thought we can eat again. That's what we would do. And it's just like, oh my God, I don't know what it's gonna take.
Yeah, I saw that picture you posted, Keith, on the different, how the blood cells look different when you're actually staying away from sugar, alcohol, meat, all this, and compared to that. And that was a really stunning picture of the difference, that you can clearly see what happens with your blood cells.
Yeah, it's amazing how the body responds to these different things in great ways that we don't realize. We get in trouble and have to start doing this, work on ourselves.
So did you cancel the wine subscription, honey?
Yes, I did.
Wow! When I told him to cancel it a few months ago, he fought me. He was like, no, I'm not canceling that wine subscription. I'm like, why do we have a wine subscription when we can't drink wine anymore?
Yeah.
It's not good for us. And he was like, I'm not doing this cancer healing so that I will never drink wine again. I'm not giving that up. I'm like, okay, honey, whatever.
But, I so totally understand it. Because we are so attached to our habits.
Yes.
Like habits can be to have just a storage or bottle of wines. And just having that makes you feel great, right? So cancel a wine subscription can be really painful. I would be devastated.
You haven't canceled your champagne or wine subscription yet, huh?
No. Well, but I'm always keeping a storage at home. And if I'm not having it, it's actually, it's painful. And I'm so happy now when I have a new apartment and I can actually keep a better storage for that.
Look at you.
Yes, it makes me happy. So I think we have these habits around, in particular, food and drinks, coffee, and that's how we socialize. That's how we're being together, and that's how we also usually like when you're meeting other couples, or what do? You eat together. So eating special kind of food or not drinking alcohol is like you're not playing the same game as other people any longer.
It is. It's really hard. And I we were down in LA for his vitamin C and mistletoe treatment a couple of weeks ago, and his naturopath doctor is also a family friend. And Martin went out to dinner with us, and we went to a really nice vegetarian, holistic, organic meal, and it was so much fun to get to do that. And we were telling him that, you know, when we pack for a road trip now, we don't just pack clothes and things. That is very small, but what we pack is juicers and coolers of green stuff, and
even our water purifying machine.
even a water purifying machine, you know. And this is what Martin said that made me feel so good. He said, that's what all the cool kids do now. And I was like, oh, now, you know. But we feel like outsider. We feel like we get, you know, we don't fit in order to go hang out with people. I gotta have a glass of wine. I gotta eat whatever the restaurant serve. I can't just go through my list of like, well, do you have organic meat or fish? And is your vegetable, you know, and can you take the beets out and the cheese out and none just like nobody wants to hang out with me if I do that. But then other people do. So anyway, coming to Sweden, you and I, we're gonna have to like, you know, plan some meals here.
Yes, well, you know, I'm easy adjustable, so just let me know how you want it. It's going to be fine.
It would be fine. But you know, I'm gonna want, you know, your cheeses and your butter, you know, like the salt butter on bread. How can we give that up, right? I don't want to. I want to go back.
And it's the pain in your stomach.
I'll live with it.
Well, yes, and this just like this is just an indication how important food is to us as a way of socializing. And usually, always when we meet, or we have like great dinner parties and drinking wine and aquavit, and we really socialize a lot around food. So of course, and the princess cakes.
Right? Oh no! Now you're gonna put that in, princess cake.
You see, so and I mean, so it's really like choosing a different lifestyle. It can actually be painful, and I think this is something a lot of people are they are trembling with this in different ways.
Yeah. And what does that have anything to do with conscious coupling? You know, it's like, how do we talk about these things? How do we maneuver through it? You know, sometimes he's conscious, and then I'm in my lazy mood. I'm like, oh, but honey, what's one Mexican meal? I feel like Eve in the garden with Adam. You know, what's a little bite of apple?
So what is the that would like replace ice cream or great sweets?
We do.
Great replacement for that.
What do you have?
It's a little dessert we make with coconut milk and blueberries, frozen blueberries, and chia seeds. And it's super easy. It takes 2 minutes in your Vitamix.
Super perfect.
In your blender, it's so delicious, and it tastes better than ice cream. It doesn't have the sugar content, and it doesn't have the dairy crap in there. So you get organic coconut milk or coconut cream, and you just take the cream part, the fat part there, and you need that fat anyway for your body, so that's healthy. Blueberries is very low in the glycemic scale, so low in sugar, and it's an antioxidant, so wham bam, right? And then chia seed, I don't even use chia seed. He does. He thicken it up with chia seed. I just do it, just those two ingredients,
and you just blend it and then eat it.
And blend it, and then if you want to, you can sprinkle a little sesame seed on top, so that's got some texture to it, or some homemade almond butter that we make now. I mean, I feel like Martha Stewart, you know, or Julia Child reincarnated through me.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's really good.
Mm.
I highly recommend it, and it's very satisfying. All my friends who get to have some of those, they're like, oh, "What's that? I can have more of that." So yeah, that's
Good.
very.
So I'm happy you have some good sweets.
Yeah, I can make
Even though
that
it's not sweet, but it's actually something that.
when I'm in Sweden.
Okay, so you are. I know you are packing boxes and you're moving out. So thank you for being here and sharing your experience in the journey you're on.
Well, I have a
right
question
now.
for you. Are we out of time? How is it with your book? I know it's coming out and you're super excited about it. So tell us one thing about, about your book that you love.
Well, that's a great question. I love it. So the book is outlining the difference between, on one hand, the romantic idea of love, the understanding of love most people have when you're unconscious, when you're not aware, when you're out of awareness. That's the idea, that's the dream life. The one of romantic life that is served us through mass media and fairy tales, how the princess meet a prince and they are living happy, or what we're seeing in movies. People having trouble, but then when they come together, there is unhappy end. So the romantic idea of love is conditioned us in a way of understanding relationships. And I'm making a distinction between that and a conscious idea of love. And that comes from couples coming together from the place of consciousness. When you're conscious, you know who you are, you're in your power, and you're coming as a whole person into relationship with another whole person. While in the romantic idea of love, you're usually dependent on the other, and you become needy or clinging or victim and jealousy and all that, because somehow that's like love is connected to happiness. So when we're together, I'm happy. When we're not together, I'm not happy. Or you're doing something, so now I'm getting jealous. So I'm making that distinctions, which I think is very important distinctions to see. And then I'm having these 8 conscious couples that I've been interviewing. So from their stories, I transcribed them, and then I've been living and breathing them for 30 days in order to find the patterns that I'm outlining in a chapter of what is it they're actually doing. Like, you can think that conscious couples everything is great, but actually what they're telling is they have so much fight. And there is a reason for it, because a lot of time when you're in the romantic idea of love, you don't have the tools for fighting, and since you're living in fear, you're not speaking a truth. So that means you're hiding out, and you're just putting lid on everything that should be discussed. But since you don't dare to discuss it because you're afraid of the consequences, you just put a lid on it and you just suppress it, and it just become like a hole. And I guess that's how we can understand why relationships ends. While the conscious couples, they are bringing everything up to the surface. So that's one of the things that is really, but I'm bringing it out from their stories. And then, of course, the sociologist in me had to make some kind of like theory understanding. So I'm using one taste definition of orgasm from the 8 different stages of orgasm. And I'm I can see how, and this is something we could deeper on, but I'm actually seeing how each phase can be discerned in relationships. And actually, it can be discerned even in an interview. So the last interview that was out yesterday is actually illustrative of a specific stage of orgasm, which is called a peaking state, because the whole interview, Destin and Ellie are being in that peaking state with each other, and I'm just sitting there in their orgasmic energy, like, basically. So it's super juicy conversation. And I think that's another advantage of this book, is that when you get the book, you also get the links to the YouTube, so you can watch the whole interview yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that great?
A part of this journey with you. Congratulations on your new book. I'm so proud of you. I know you've been working very, very hard on this for many years, and the collecting and asking the question and going through it yourself. And
it's true. And I mean, I couldn't have been writing this book without all the experience. In some way, it's my 8 years of just gathering it all together and doing the interviews, and then making myself the time to bring it together. Yeah. So I'm happy.
Yes.
So March 1st. Okay. May and Keith. It was a delight to see you here. If you're watching, do you want to say something about what you do, May, and how people find you if they want to learn more about you?
Oh yes, I'm in a reinvention phase of my business. I work with divorced moms who are wanting to date again, and also married moms who want to save their marriages. And my work is all about helping people create a hot life and with hot love in their life. And what is coming through now also is this whole piece about the cancer fighting part. Like, how do we support our partners? How do we be good caretaker for ourselves and our partners, so that we heal cancer and create the hot love that we want. So my Hot Life, Hot Love is now including a cancer piece to it. So stay tuned. I'm going to start a new YouTube channel with all these video about our journey on cancer fighting, so that we can really bring another alternatives to the world. I'm healing my teeth and all this stuff, and he's doing it, and we're just trying new things and really busting out of the old ways of thinking, both in love and in health.
Yeah. And I'm hoping I soon will get to an exhibition with your pictures, Keith. That is my dream. To see your pictures, your photographs in an exhibition.
Thank you. Yeah. Other people have mentioned that recently too. So maybe I'm working towards that.
Yes.
Maybe
that would make me very happy.
Maybe the first one should
that would give me a reason even to come to the United States again.
Or the first one should be at the Fotografica
Museum
in Malmo.
Yes. Fotografiska museet in Stockholm.
Stockholm, right.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow, I'm having a new conversation with a man about love and relationship.
Good luck with that.
Tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.